Hello and welcome to day 11 of completing an island in 10 days without spending any bells. Yes, you heard right, day 11. This whole 10-day challenge didn't really pan out for me, so I'm sorry for all of the clickbaity titles. 10 days was the goal, I just didn't quite reach it, that's all. But that's cool. I'm still going to finish this island, so let's get to it. I did do a couple of builds after I finished recording on day 10, so let's go and check them out. Here behind Rodney and Egbert's I have made a small flower meadow. It needs more flowers though, so I'll have to keep watering them and hope that they grow. Behind Sprinkle I have built a small playground, and then I have also lightly decorated the peninsula. But I still had so much more to do. I remember this day very clearly because it was so stressful. I was basically chained to my desk and I only got up to eat and go potty. That was it. I had to get this island done though. I had to. So let's get to the first build, Cat's house. I had already started to terraform this cliff at the back here a while ago, so before we do anything we need to get this finished first. Now onto Cat's front yard. Because this is where I've been storing all of my spare crops, I'm going to have to move them anyway, so I figure I might as well use them and make a vegetable garden. The vegetable patch is all done, so I'm going to work on this small area here. Cat has a lot more space than what I actually thought. For this area here, I'm going to make a little outdoor dining area because Cat is all about farm to table.
That one's a nice deep red. And that one's rustic
For this spot here, I have just made a small pond and a garden, and this is going to be an extension of Egbert's house. I have this area here at the front of Kat's, and I've decided to make this a part of her yard as well. I'm going to use the pumpkin carriage that I got from Halloween. I figured this can be her stall where she sells all of her fresh produce. Okay, we are getting there. Now I have this random spot here that doesn't really have a purpose. It's kind of just in between Kat's house and the campsite. So I'm just going to do a bit of waterscaping and make it look pretty. I'm now going to move on to the flower meadow. I still need a heap more flowers, so I go around and I do a heap of watering. I then head off to a cabin island so that I can stock up on trees before time travelling to the following day. Luckily for me, it's snowing, so I don't need to do any more watering. I put down a few custom piles, but then I was just kind of all over the place. I cleaned up out the side of my house and I placed a few trees here and there, and then I worked on this small space next to the Able sisters. But then I don't know what happened, because the next recording I have, the flower meadow is almost finished and my house is already decorated. So one of three things has happened. I sat down on the couch and decorated for a while because I got sick of sitting at my desk and I forgot to record any clips of it. I accidentally deleted it, which for me is actually a really big possibility. Or I simply took a break and then forgot to press record when I came back. Anyway, the point is, those builds are done, so now we are on to the last one. This was by far the biggest build of the island, but before I get into it, I need to clean the area. So first I'm going to waterscape the lake. This is going to take up a bulk of the area. Now, I am not a fan of waterscaping. I am one of those people that constantly covers the water when I don't want to, and I have a lot of trouble making things look natural. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. I worked on the outline and I made a few islands of land in the middle. I wanted to decorate them first before I waterscaped the rest of the lake, but I was running low on flowers. And I mean, I had a ton of red flowers, but I barely had any white or yellow, and I didn't have any bushes that I liked. I couldn't find any on the cabin islands, and I think that was because of the time of the year I was in, so I time traveled back a few months, and oh my god, my island kind of slays. I love the way it looks with the green grass, it is so cute. After spending a few days going to cabin islands and getting what I needed, it was time to go back to May and getting stuck right into it. After decorating the islands, it was time to finish the waterscaping. Man, I tell you what, that was a lot of work. But now that the waterscaping is done, it is time to get stuck into the decorating. The first area I worked on was along the front, where I made a pathway and added in a small fishing pier. I made another simple pathway up the side in between the lake and the campsite. This leads to a small area where you can access the ocean, so maybe it's like a little diving spot for the villagers. I also added in a small cliff top with a waterfall to help fill in the space and also give the area a little bit of height. Down behind Nooks, I'm just filling in this small area. This is just going to be a cute little picnic spot. Alright, I am on the home stretch now. I am nearly done. Along the back I'm going to plant a veggie garden and lightly decorate the secret beach. I thought putting in a lake here would take up a heap of space and save me time, but there is still so much room in this back corner. Okay, so the veggie patch is done, so now I need to work on this area behind Rash's house and then at the front. But I've done it again. Here I am working on the front yard, and as you can see there is a cliff top behind Rash's house. It is clearly later in the day, so I possibly may have, maybe, I don't know, forgotten to press record. Again. Anywho, this is the last build besides the beaches, so let's do this. I have a lot of red flowers left over, and seeing as Rash's house is red, I figured I might as well make him a red flower garden. But before I get to that, I'm just going to make him a small sitting area next to his house. It is a new day because I had to go to a cabin island to get some building materials. I'm out of just about everything at this point, but I'm nearly done, not long to go now. And with the last few items, this build is done. That took a long time. The island isn't finished just yet though. I still have to clean up the beaches and decorate the inside of my house. I done this from the comfort of my bed though, because by this time it was about 11 o'clock at night and I was exhausted. So I will see you in a few moments, ready to tour the finished island. So here we are, Clochette is officially completed. I had so much fun with this challenge, as stressful as it was. I had been wanting to do a challenge that had, I suppose you could say, a drastic rule in it. I've done other challenges where there's been like no terraforming or no time travel, but not being able to spend bells was pretty restricting. I had to be very consistent in doing all of my dailies to collect items, DIYs, materials and nook miles. And I couldn't throw anything away, because what if I needed it? No matter how random an item or whether or not I had ever used it before, I had to keep everything. But then I was like, where am I going to put it all? I couldn't upgrade my storage, so there was just stuff dumped around everywhere, which made my life very difficult. As for the time frame, 10 days wasn't enough, okay? I think I bit off more than I could chew with that. I was pretty disappointed that I didn't get it done in the 10 days, but I still feel like I accomplished quite a lot. Some days I filmed for only about 3 hours, while other days it was closer to 8. I think that last day I was there for about 11 hours. So I probably could have handled my time a little bit better, and if I had done that I might have got it done in the 10 days. But honestly, I still think I'd done a pretty good job. Now, to prove I did in fact follow the no bells rule, here is what I have spent. I spent, I think, like 300 bells for the slingshot DIY. And then I of course spent money with Mabel to open up the Able sisters, which now that I think about it, I didn't really need to. I could have gotten away with not having that, but I think the shop is really cute and everything that I bought from her I threw out anyway. And let's not forget I bought the last 4 plots of Tom, but that's it. Everything else was either shot down from a balloon, shaken from a tree, found in the recycling bin or gifted from a villager. The DIYs were the same. I either found them on the beach in balloons or I got them from villagers. All of the bushes were from Cabin Islands, as were the flowers, while I of course cloned as many as I could. And nearly every tree on this island is a fruit tree, seeing as I couldn't buy any saplings. Now the question remains, what is my star rating? The night that I finished the island after I stopped recording and I went to decorate the beaches, I couldn't help myself. I went and seen Isabel. And Clochette did indeed receive a 5-star rating. I was so excited, but I couldn't celebrate with anyone because it was midnight and everyone was asleep. So let's celebrate now. So there we have it. I did indeed complete an island and get 5 stars without spending any bells in 10+1 days. This honestly might be my favourite island that I have ever done. I mean, who doesn't love a good full island? So for the last time for this series, that is all for today's video. And I just want to thank you all so much for your support. At the time of recording this part of the voiceover, it is currently day 8 of the challenge. And it has been really nice to see you all enjoying the series. And I really appreciate all of the love. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.